Welcome to another episode of the Last of the Real podcast. And you don't know from your ear voice, you know a Zian alongside the people's favorite.
Yeah, man, a JRP in the building, So I go and see.
Why would they, brother? And you don't know what I have to do a Premier League weekly review. I would just have to jump straight tonight, bro. And start with the Monday game.
And before we jump straight tonight, Nancy, we just make the people know, so we apologize for the lateness.
Yes.
And if you hear a little echo, you know, certain things.
You know, technical difficulties. Yeah. But the show must go on. But bro, you did catch the Brentford and Fulham match yesterday?
Yes, indeed.
No.
I mean, Brentford can't stop winning at the moment.
Brentford cannot stop winning. What is this? 22 game? They're going. I'm not lie. They are going.
And Ivan Toney and the score sheet out as well. But would you say this was I think this was an evenly match-up side, two sides that are pretty much on farm, right?
Yeah, this was a definitely even match-up. I mean, the scoreline did flatter Fulham because Brentford had the better of them for large encounters of the game. And
yes.
It told with that early goal by Pino. I mean,
yes.
When the second goal went in for Fulham, it was basically a cancellation, The game was pretty much done.
Pretty much done, yeah.
But this was a reverse of the previous fixture, where that Fulham had won 3-2.
Fulham had won 3-2. So it's Brentford taking back a little revenge.
A little revenge, right? Yes, no man. Now, with both teams on top form, and they're both pushing for Europe, you think any of them will get into the European places?
Honestly, I think so. Because they're currently both on better form than Newcastle.
Yes, they're definitely on better form than Newcastle. And they're also closing the gap on Newcastle. Because
yes.
I think Fulham said 2 points.
2 points off.
Yeah. Now, what were you saying about Brentford?
I have a feeling Brentford to pull it off.
I think they can.
Yeah.
I just hope that, the ban doesn't really, Tony's impending ban doesn't really affect them too much. No.
When you think this will be implemented? At the end of the season?
What they're trying for, that I've read into, is they're trying for it to hit basically almost at the end of the season, where it runs through the summer and their pre-games. So basically, they want to use up the pre-games as part of the ban. Which is smart.
Okay.
Which is smart on their part.
Smart move.
No. We could look on next game that happened on Sunday, the biggest game of the Sunday. Liverpool versus Manchester United. Wow. Nobody saw this coming, bro. 7-7 Liverpool.
Yeah. Manchester United is the informed team. Liverpool was slowly starting to build up a little steam ahead, but Manchester United have been on.
No, the thing is, who saw this coming? Liverpool beating Manchester United 7-0.
I mean, this is 7. This is horrible.
Yeah, man. This is more than just a humbling. This was an embarrassment. And speaking of embarrassments, Manchester United's captain, Bruno Fernandes, in all honesty, he was an embarrassment on the day. He was definitely an embarrassment. And another thing what I don't understand is Manchester United could have had maybe 3 players sent off for reckless tackles or, basically Bruno Fernandes pushing the linesman. I think if this was any other player from any other team, they would have seen a red card for this.
Even question, what do you think was the issue why Manchester United got steamrolled? by Liverpool?
I think what happened is Liverpool hit them with the 2 goals right at the end of the first half and right at the beginning of the second half. And once that happened, their heads just dropped.
So is this safe to say that Liverpool is now back?
I would want, with this performance, it's hard to say they're not back.
I agree.
Because they've basically closed the gap on Tottenham now. One more win.
Yeah.
They win the game in hand, they're now in 4th.
Then, yeah. So it's a good look for them.
Yeah, man, it's a definite good look for them. But with Manchester United, do you think they've been found out now and they'll start to wobble, or was this just a blip?
I mean, honestly speaking, I think we just have to wait and see before we jump to any decision or any conclusion like that, because this is a heavy defeat, and we'd have to now see how they respond to this defeat, because one, it can send them down a downward spiral, or they can, find that motivation and come again.
True, definitely true.
They're still in pole position to still get more than one trophy this season.
Yes.
I mean, you're the one. Now things start going downhill and they're pretty much out of everything. I mean, the 7 it was heavy.
Yeah, man. It's their heaviest defeat in the Premier League,
Yeah, and like it when you touch on Bruno Fernandes, he didn't do himself any justice. It was a poor display by a captain when the team needed him the most. And we're not talking about his performance. Because we know that Bruno is a brilliant.
No, but his attitude.
And good player, yeah, but his attitude was stink. This is not the first time we are seeing this attitude from Bruno Fernandes when they're in a bad position. But Ten Hag will have to rally the team and go at it again.
Definitely.
They have Southampton coming up. I mean, that's the team you want to face again. That's the team you want to face, a team that
at this time
in the relegation battle. Yeah, we know that relegation teams in the relegation are very difficult to beat, and if Southampton will find a way and beat them, I mean, pressure is now on.
Yeah, pressure will definitely now be on, because nobody is safe in this league, no matter what position you are or what you're fighting for. But the last point I want to make about the United game, with Bruno Fernandes and the linesman, don't you think some action should be taken?
Indeed.
Because
fully agree.
You cannot do things like that in a professional game and don't even receive a yellow card.
No.
That is sending a bad message to every other club, every other player in the league.
That was too risky, and you don't want a player doing things like that.
Exactly. But I would like to hear what the Manchester United fans think, It was Bruno justified, or is he being made the scapegoat or the villain of the story? And what caused such a poor performance? No, we're not going to dwell.
I'm eagerly waiting.
Definitely. We're not going to dwell too long upon them, because we don't want to say we are pick upon them. But the next game is Everton and Nottingham Forest. 2 teams that needed to win.
A share of the spoils.
Yeah, basically as you were for both of them. I mean, Nottingham Forest kind of slipped down, but Everton is
funny enough.
Yeah.
I saw this crazy stats as it relates to Alex Iwobi when we play Everton in that midweek fixtures, our game in hand.
Yeah.
That was his 38 consecutive game.
Wow.
And this against Nottingham Forest would make his 39 consecutive game. I mean, that is some feat.
Yeah, man. He's found his feet at Everton. No lie.
Yeah, and you could see in this match when the game was coming into a close, you could see that Iwobi was out of it.
Yes. You definitely seen the exhaustion on him. And that is because Iwobi has played in multiple positions, He's
Yes,
been
he's a versatile player since his Arsenal days,
yeah.
and now in this side he's not so. Well, in this side he's playing mostly as a winger.
He's played as a winger, as a right back. He's been all over the place.
When Lampard was there, he was playing through the middle.
Right.
And under Sean Dice, now I think he's playing mostly on the right wing.
On the right wing, yeah. I seen Lampard use him in the right back position as well, but it's safe to say is vital in Everton's team.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, and the listeners can correct me, I think he has the most assists for the season for Everton.
Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we see their goal scoring feats. It's something to be desired. They haven't really done anything much.
But like we said, it was share of the spoil.
Yeah, man. I'm impressed with Brennan Johnson still. Brennan Johnson for Nottingham Forest. He put on an exceptional display. Got the goal. Yeah, man.
Yeah, got both goals.
Both goals. His display was exceptional. But
yeah.
With Everton lingering in 18th, you think they may just go down?
With Sean Dice, we know his reputation.
Right.
We know he has a good reputation. He's an experienced manager. He has been in this position before. If you had asked me when it was Lampard there, no disrespect to Lampard because he's a manager and a player that I respect, I would say yes. But with Dice there, I mean, he can pull it off.
Definitely. And the good thing for Everton, it's still tight. From 12 down to 20, it is still tight. So there's still hope.
Because if you look at it now, and I want to stray too far, because if Bournemouth had won, they would have jumped up to around 16th position.
Wow. Crazy to think.
So that's how tight it is right now.
Yeah, man, it's crazy to think. But speaking about jumping up, yeah.
Yeah, man, go ahead, man.
No, I was gonna say, speaking about jumping up, Southampton is finally off the foot of the table. Finally.
This is the thing that I have going down, and they managed to get a win. Credit to them, credit to them. And
I mean,
they beat a Leicester team that
inconsistent.
Inconsistent, but this one was going to be a close call.
True, but it was very controversial as well. And
very.
Yes, see, that is the thing. We always say these referees get some decisions wrong that cost teams, and they cost teams very important points. Because
yes, referees have been too influential in the game in the bad way.
Yeah, man.
With the mistakes.
Yeah, man. But all in all, it was still a really good win for Southampton. I do agree with you. I have them going down, but everything down into the bottom of the table right now, from, like we said, is it 16 going or 13 going down, will be a dog fight.
Yeah, from 13 going on, even though Wolves is on 27 points with Crystal Palace. I mean,
and that's the next team.
Slip up over the weekend, you can see a couple side leapfrogging them.
Yeah. And that's the next team I wanted to look at their game, Wolves and Tottenham. I mean, it's fair to say, not being biased, Spurs dominated the game. They definitely dominated the game. But they just couldn't find the cutting edge.
And they did. And this was a next surprise package for me as well, because the Spurs was on the run with something like 6 games. They have won 6 games in a row.
6 games in the league, right? Because they lost in the FA Cup, and then they followed up that loss with this loss to Wolves.
Yeah, so we didn't. Well, I didn't expect them to fall against Wolves.
No, I thought they were gonna bounce back, especially after getting knocked out of the FA Cup. But I mean, what can I say? It's just Tottenham being Spursy.
Yeah, and credit to Wolves. This was a fairly good performance by them. They show, like you said, resilience. Tottenham was a side that was creating more, and I mean, rightfully said, Tottenham shouldn't lose, but you have to put the ball in the back of the net, right?
Exactly.
And
exactly.
Imagine Wolves did that. And the player that we talked about before, some game weeks ago, that if it's time at Wolves was done, or Adam Traore, he was the one that found the goal here, and
spectacular goal as well.
Indeed, I hope this give him the confidence to push on. He has a really inconsistent career.
Well, I call him the greased up deaf guy from Family Guy, because the only thing consistent with him is when he enters the field, he's well oiled up.
And that can be the only memory of Traore when he hung up his boots.
Unfortunately, so far it is. I mean,
it is indeed.
Apart from this goal, his season has been very underwhelming, to say the least.
It's been a dodgy one. Yeah, totally agree.
But another team pushing for European place, Brighton. They took on a West Ham team that they're having a poor season as well.
No. And again, we thought with the recent win the other day that West Ham would have
started to get some form.
Yeah, catch some form. I had Brighton winning, but in all fairness, I didn't have Brighton winning by 4 goals.
No, exactly. I thought this would have been a way closer affair, maybe a 2-1, right? But I didn't have Brighton winning by 4 goals. And it was all the Brighton superstars that turned out, the McAllister, Mitoma, the forgotten guy, Welbeck. They basically all turn up. Everybody. Yeah, because nobody's really talking about Danny Welbeck anymore. But he turned up today as well.
It's been a while.
Yeah, man. It's definitely been a while for Welbeck.
And West Ham, they are 16 in the table, right?
Yes.
And they are trying their best to avoid this job, right? That loss did some damage, and now they will have to regroup and come up against a very attacking Aston Villa side on Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it in hindsight, this could be a game that they could actually win, because Aston Villa play that open football.
True. So they definitely
they
can.
Are poor, and if they are poor on the day, this could be another 4.
With the way Aston Villa play, definitely. But Brighton themselves, they are pushing for a European spot, because they are 3 points behind Newcastle, and they have a game in hand. Right? Matter of fact, they're actually 4 points behind Liverpool with 2 games in hand. So,
and they can pull it off.
I think Brighton can pull off Europe, but not sure about the top 4.
Even if they don't get the Europa League, what about the Conference League?
Yes, definitely. They will definitely get something in Europe if they can continue this run. But, we're not sure how far. Yeah, it's a good look for Brighton, man. They're definitely one of the surprise packages with the likes of Fulham and Brentford. But the team we just spoke about.
They look like a side that can't lose them.
The Aston Villa team. This I think this is one of the lowest scoring Aston Villa games in a long while. And they didn't even score because it was an own goal. Right? They came up against a Crystal Palace that got the likes of Wilfred Zaha back, but even with Zaha back, he still couldn't breach the Aston Villa defense and Martinez. Now, we've always said it about Palace, You don't know which Palace you're going to get.
Zaha, yes, that is true. The side has become too inconsistent. Now Vieira is under pressure.
Yeah,
because, like we said, they are 12 in the table and 27 points. If they should lose again over the weekend, it means that their couple side depends on how the result goes. Couple side can leapfrog
them. Yeah.
They are too inconsistent. I don't think you can really rely on Zaha right now. This is a pretty dull season for him.
Yeah,
pretty much a dull season for the entire Crystal Palace side. Especially when you have a player that picked up a red card. It's just our own, really just our own, I wouldn't say madness, but they need to do better.
I think what is saving Crystal Palace is that the sides below them are, basically picking off points off each other. Because I don't think Crystal Palace has moved from 12 for most of the season.
From that position, and at the beginning of the season they were actually doing well. So I guess those early points that they gain, it's more beneficial.
Yeah, but Aston Villa is the next team.
Things around.
I think they will. I think they can. But like I was saying, Aston Villa is the next team, that you have to watch out for them because they can leapfrog the likes of Chelsea and, maybe end up at one of the European spots.
Well, they're not far up. They're in 11th position. So it all goes well over the weekend and they pick up some valuable points against a struggling West Ham. You could see them leapfrogging some teams.
Definitely. No, one of the most exciting games of the weekend was Arsenal and Bournemouth. Now, let me ask you a question. When you saw Arsenal 2-0 down, what came to mind?
What came to my mind is that how would they react now? Because we are 2-0 down. In the, what was it? In the...
it was in the 68th minute. It was Brentford scoring Brentford scoring the 57th minute. Yeah, 57th.
Yeah, the 57th minute. So now when that happened and Brentford doing, by the way, an amazing job at defending.
Excellent job.
Now, when I look at it, Zane, I was saying, all right, who is going to be that player that just step up and just try to find a goal? Because I honestly believe that if we found one, we could have find a next one.
Yeah, man.
And I would have settled for the point because that's a point rather than none.
Yes.
Because it's not that easy to come back from 2 goals down.
Exactly.
And when Thomas Partey found that goal in the 67th minute, I wasn't even celebrating, to tell you the truth. I was all right. This is one now. This is one. When Ben White scored that goal, I was said, all right, this is it. You could feel the scale tipping in our direction. Like, all right, it looked like we can get 2 more goals because Bournemouth look like they're starting to, I wouldn't say lose faith, but you could see that now. It seems like they're running out of energy.
Yeah, man. The schemes are running out of the ship.
Yeah, man. When you look at the match, when you look at the overall match in a zone, Brentford have 90% possession. So Arsenal have 81 possession. They only made a total of 184 passes. So we were pretty much controlling the entire game.
You want to know the stat?
For that long, It gotta take a toll.
It gotta take a toll. But the stats that got me, was the shots and target. We had 31 shots
31 shots
compared to
and
their 4.
And they did well with the 4 because they scored 2.
Yeah, man. And if it wasn't for Ramsdale, honestly, it could have been an easy 3.
And this is the issue now, because if they had more quality players, I could see them walking out of the Emirates with 3 points, because they were in position where they caught Arsenal on the break.
Yeah, man. We were expecting that first.
The final decision just let them down.
True.
And if Bournemouth can play this way, why they don't do it often? Why are they sitting at the bottom of the table?
That is the $1 million question. If they can come to Arsenal and play like this, why are they at the foot of the table?
But exactly. But on the day Arteta, he made his changes. He made some good changes.
Honestly,
I give him credit for that.
I think this is the best changes I've ever seen Arteta make, because when he put on Smith Rowe for Trossard, right?
Yeah,
Smith Rowe assisted the Partey goal, and then he took off Smith Rowe and put on Nelson, who assisted the Ben White goal, and who scored that miraculous winner.
Yes, correct. I think it was with Arteta intention to give Smith Rowe some game time, because honestly, we all thought that we were going to win this match quite easily if we're going to be against Bournemouth.
Yeah, man. And what he did was rest players too, because he rest the likes of Ben White and Xhaka, because we thought easy win.
No one expected Smith Rowe to came in that early into the game.
No,
it was because of injury.
None at all.
And again, we could have looked on it and said, then, all right, why never start Reece Nelson rather than Smith Rowe? Both are come off. Both were on injury, but
yes.
What it showed me right there, I think Arteta. I'm not speaking for Arteta or behalf of Arteta. I just think Arteta had more faith going with a Smith Rowe rather than Reece Nelson. And
it could also be, where they are in terms of their comeback from injury. Because, Smith Rowe has been getting a few minutes here and there, while Reece Nelson basically recently just come back.
And the other thing I would like to touch on, because I see like players saying the sub gets sub. Honestly, we have to remember that Smith Rowe has been out with it for something like for the last 5 months.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that.
It was his first competitive game at this level, because he was playing some game at the under 21. But that is the under 21. We are now, this is the professional, right? And you're coming up against Bournemouth. He lasted for the 69 minutes. He couldn't last any longer.
It was as simple as that. There's nothing wrong with the sub getting sub, because he made an impact the time he was on the field. So I just think sometimes our fans are just too negative.
Too negative, and we don't want to push both Smith Rowe and Reece Nelson too much, where an injury might happen again. Because see, now that we're in the position of Trossard.
Exactly.
But we're expecting both players to play in the midweek fixtures in the Europa League.
Yeah, man, because they need more game time, and some of the senior players need a little breather as well. But I want to leave you with an interesting stat
as well. Vera had a solid game.
Yes. I think one of his better games in an Arsenal shirt. But before we look at the Chelsea game, I want to leave you with a little stat. In our starting 11, all 10 outfield players have now scored.
Yeah.
Everybody from all our defense from attack to defense, all 10 outfield players have scored so far this season from our starting 11.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Arsenal is getting it done. But, I could look at the next game real quick. Chelsea versus Leeds United. You know what I found
Chelsea
surprising?
They got a win. Finally got a win.
And what I found surprising is with that much money spent on attacking talent, it was Wesley Fofana that turned up and scored a goal. It was the defender.
Sometimes you just can't tell who will turn up.
That is it. It was Fofana who turned up and got a goal. But
I would like to think that possibly this is Chelsea will go on now and get a couple wins. I would like to think that way.
I would like to think that way as well. I would like to think that way. It's hard to see them not kicking on, but I hope Chelsea can kick on because so far, and it's not really Chelsea, it's more of a Potter thing. So after that 1-0 victory, we should see Chelsea pushing forward and maybe climbing up into the table. And it's not a love for Chelsea, it's more of a respect for Potter.
Yeah, it's a respect for Potter, and we show people that hey, we are football fans, and we know that Chelsea have abundance of talent right there. So hopefully we see Chelsea pull off next week.
All right, but as we talk about Chelsea and winning, basically Manchester City versus Newcastle was as routine gets. Basically it was the Phil Foden show.
Yeah. Question. I want to touch on two things. Do you think Phil Foden should leave Manchester City?
I mean,
to get more game time.
I mean, definitely. But I don't think
I agree.
Pep will let him leave.
Yeah, because I mean, what this is just ridiculous by him. He was dropped out of the side not based on performance.
Exactly.
Because he was the standout player at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and I think Pep does that, Pep will just randomly drop a player without explanation. You don't know why. So I think if he wants consistent game time, he should leave. Yeah.
And my other question is, once again, Liverpool created chance. No, I mean Newcastle. Still thinking about that 7 Liverpool Japan Man U.
Bro, so, if we are cell shock, imagine the United fans.
So Newcastle.
So you were saying Newcastle created all the chances. Yeah, I think Newcastle's problem is definitely scoring goals, but their defensive solidity is also gone because Newcastle was like the best defense in the league. Now we've seen where that has become vulnerable and they have been conceding more than in the early parts of the season. Also, I think in terms of firepower, maybe they need to give Wilson a break and go with Isak up front because Wilson doesn't seem to be getting the job done, right? Or another thing Newcastle can try, maybe play both of them up front because Wilson by himself isn't cutting it and Almiron looks like he's definitely run out of steam now. But I think if Newcastle can get it right, they may can revive their season instead of slipping down. But people, you don't know. As usual, let us know what you think. How did your team get on this weekend? Did the 7-0 Liverpool give Manchester United shock you as much as it did us? Like always, at the last of the real podcast, I said, wow, good.
And good up you will follow you.